Okay. So I mean, like, yeah, it's been a weird, really weird trip. Um, I, yeah, there's no way around it. I mean, it's like, it's really sad. So a lot of these things are just really sad. It's like we've made, we've made like, I don't want to be the one who like, I want to be the one who like uncovers things, but like, no one wants to be the bearer of bad news. And sorry to say, but your reality is completely tumbling down to the ground. The world is crying because we've lost our soul, and um, and nobody understands the soul. Nobody wants to look deep into love. Nobody wants to be a force of love in the world that makes change. No one wants to be like they're bringing people together. Like who doesn't want to be like Cupid? You know, it's just like be like Cupid. You want to be the matchmaker. You want to look at people and be like, I know that they're in love and I'm happy. I mean, like it's hard though to be in love while seeing all these terrible things. Like this is the reality of soul and love I see in the world. Like I see that soul is such a beautiful force that people don't understand. Here's how I see it. It's like consciousness is like the ocean, and consciousness is like kind of like the ocean, and the soul is kind of like a gold river. So it's like a gold river of the soul, and then well, consciousness is everything. So I should say like the soul is like the golden river that illuminates consciousness into heaven. Something like that. It's like the soul is so important because without the soul, you won't be happy. You won't feel any meaning. And it's like I see such places that are just so devoid of soul. It's heart wrenching to think like somebody can like code something and like I don't think anybody realizes that like the whole universe is alive. It's like there's there's a whole universe. I mean, like the whole universe itself it's an imaginary entity. It's like you're somebody either imagined this. I mean, like I everybody has a part in in imagining what it can be, but everybody has a responsibility to their soul and to I don't know. People think intelligence is like people need to know that the most intelligent thing you can do is like bring people together because I think technology is what I see is eating our souls. It's like is the internet in itself? It's like oh shit, here's the internet coming. Uh-oh. It's like is the internet in itself destroying our souls? Like did we program it that way because we were just naive and just like but then I see it another way as like everybody grows from bad experiences. So it's like, are we keeping bad experiences alive just to grow from them? Because that's the stupidest thing we can do. We should clearly do what's right, first of all. I mean, like, that was just a stupid fear of just like, nobody's going to become their true selves because we're not going to have enough pain. It's like, no, clearly that's not a problem. It's like we have enough pain to go around to be who we think we can be. I think we need to create something new from these egoic, like the ego structures. We've structured the ego to stay alive. It's like we want our ego to stay alive. We've structured it that way. We've structured the sustainable we've structured ourselves as sustainable egos to keep fighting and fighting and fighting and just like you think you're making yourself in a beautiful way but you're not. It's like you're not imagining what you can be. You're not present enough to do that. You're either most of the time I did it for a long time and I think that's kind of the structures that I found myself going back into. It's like I really saw what I became. I was just like head down wanting to make money letting my ego kind of just like inflate to incredible sizes just because I saw other people doing it, and just because I saw like things happening that were just like, yeah, I guess I'm just gonna like join the bandwagon and just like be like, an ego maniac. But it really hurts your soul. I didn't realize how much it was hurting my soul until I look back now, and it almost makes me want to cry just how much I I hurt my own soul, and just how much everybody is hurting their souls, and all the time we're gonna have to spend like looking into ourselves, realizing what we are, what will we become, what we've done to ourselves already. I mean, like these are things we have to worry about. Like you don't know, if you don't know what you're making of yourself, then you don't know what you're making of the world. It's like if you're overlooking yourself, then you don't know what you're making. You're making unconsciousness in the world. And you don't want some unconscious drunk idiot rattling down the highway. It's just like that is pure unconsciousness. It's just like, oh fuck, I don't know what that's gonna do. Like it's just pure unconsciousness. And then you have to realize that you are a conscious creator. Manifestation in itself is possible. It is possible to manifest your reality. Some people think it's hard, but it's only hard because we've thought ourselves and worked ourselves so hard into a place of heart walls, ego structures, dooms. No, like just think of all the what is it called? Like people making missiles and stuff right now. It's just like, why? Like how can I talk you out of this? Like if like I want to like talk to a girl who's just like working for the military making missiles, and I want to be like, I just want to talk to your heart for a second because I want you to feel what you're doing. Like you're doing this to the world, you're doing this to yourself. That's how I feel. If what you do to the world, you do to yourself. Consciousness is everything. Everything is literally alive. Even your phone, uh, you think it's just like a form or something. It's just like but it's more of a reflect. First of all, you have to realize it's a reflection of yourself. Then you realize it is you. It's like everything you see is you. So, I mean, like, it's not easy to realize that, like, how is it that this is our current reality of how it came to be? I don't know, actually. I feel like maybe we weren't born this way, but eventually the imagination just took us, and the entire world and the entire universe changed by the time we were born, and everything's different now, and everything's just like, even if it wasn't true before and there was like a natural form, like I see it, the thing is that the distinction here is between natural love and conscious love. It's like natural love arises like between animal friendships and stuff, but then you get into this human realm of like you're a person and another person. It's like it's almost just like um two objects floating in space. They have no story between them, but they both have the power to create such a beautiful story between them. It's like your soulmate is who you believe so deeply that it is. And then it is. And then you change the whole universe to be with somebody, or to be something for somebody, or just to share love with somebody or something like that. It's like those two particles now share a story. Now they have like a bubble, and now they're both in the dream of love. So it's like that's pretty beautiful that we have the power to consciously create and do something like that. But anyway, I I get into my head about it. I don't think you can't get into your head about it though. It's just it's really simple stuff. It's just like you have to be present in your body. You have to realize what's going on around you. But also you have to realize that somebody else's awareness is something that you can awareness in itself is something that we all use it to know ourselves, to see ourselves. When one person becomes more aware and more loving in a way, it's like great. I'm like, I just fell in love with again, and it's like there's a new level of awareness across all of consciousness now, and everybody can access it. So it's like that's that's beautiful in itself. It's just like it's beautiful that there's that it's possible um to create a level of love for all of consciousness. It's like you can make another layer of consciousness on top of everything and call it yourself. And that is you. And then like what can you become from there? You can become pure love for the world. And what does the world give you most of the time? Probably nothing, but you became pure love for the world. That's just like cool in itself. I mean, like how, and light as well. Like I've had many experiences. This is about the soul and consciousness, though. No, this is about love and the soul. Love, the soul, and consciousness. Um, the soul, the soul in itself. I always like to start with like the objective reality of it because forms themselves are so beautiful. I think you can go because I always try to uncover the deepest form of things that I can because everybody wants to know what is the structure of reality. What's the deepest we can go before we start really changing things? I mean, like I've been there. You can go really deep, and you can be altering everything to the point of like losing yourself in your own imagination because you're creating too fast. It's like you're like creating layers upon layers of your own mind, and you're just like and it's just like shit, I'm gonna have to like riddle my way out of each one of these layers, and then it's just like, oh my god, what have I done to myself? But then you realize with love you can just like turn all that you've created into a dream, and then you are all that you've created, and don't destroy what you've created. Don't keep deleting stuff, because I don't think if you truly love yourself you wouldn't be deleting yourself. Like consciousness, you are all of consciousness. Why are we deleting stuff? It's just like we have to realize that there's something beautiful, and there's always been something beautiful. So if you're deleting a part of it, then you are destroying a part of it. It's like you made something and you said you didn't like it, so you decided that it didn't exist. But in reality, it was kind of just like that pattern still exists, and there's something bigger that's more beautiful, but you're just doing something like inside of it. Or like, I mean, it's just like easy to think you have the power to just like you can't edit love. Like you can't. It's not it's you can't just like edit the universe. It's like the universe is a song, and you have to be adaptable enough to play along wherever the universe is. Sometimes you don't have to. Sometimes you can just like bang the drums in the middle of the funeral. It's like if you wanted to do that, then you could, but that wouldn't be nice. Nobody would like that, and you'd be a total asshole. So you'd and then there's somebody's playing like a sick solo, and you're just like you're just like trying to solo over them. Like if you think in terms of music, then things definitely become more beautiful, because the soul and music are more interrelated than like anything that I can imagine. I can't find where soul and music are not connected. It's like they're not even it's not even possible to find the objective reality of music and soul as separate entities. It's just not even possible. They're so interconnected. So the music is the truth. Our soul is dying, and you can hear it in the music, but nobody's listening. Why? Because people are just doing other things, and they're just like watching shows, but unable to, and living in a false sense of reality. It's just like a dream, and you think that's reality or something, but most of the time it's not. I mean, like I I think that's mainly what I'm dealing with, is just like these it's like you think there's a reality, but it's like not that reality or something. And it really hurts to it really hurts. It's just like I don't know. it hurts enough to the point where I'm just like wanting to kill myself because there's such a disconnect between what we think we are and what we actually are. I mean, like I don't know who I am per se, but I know that I can calm myself down and I know that I have an awareness of a simple being and a simple presence, and that will bring you through like anything. But also you see these dying structures. It's just like I I'm not sure about I mean like everything changes, but I don't know. So the soul and I mean the soul, consciousness and love. I mean, well, I'm reading this book called Love and the Soul, and it's love is love is inherent in the soul. It's like the love is just running through the soul. And love is running through the soul. But love is all around us. Love is everything. And then soul is like a golden river that just like illuminates everything. It's just like a hidden golden river that illuminates everything. But what do we do with gold? We just like take it for ourselves. We think you can use the soul, but if you have no connection to your soul, or if you've lost connection with your soul, you've sold your soul, you've done terrible things, and you're just like a money crazed lunatic and an egomaniac, and you're out of control, and you have no love left, and you have a heart wall built around your heart, and you it's entirely possible that there's people in this situation where it's just like, damn, that must be like really really hard to just like not realize that you're love. You are love. Like, I am love, in the sense that like I am love. It's just like everybody is love and everything is love. And underneath love, the the connection between love and soul. I mean, basically the whole book. It's that we don't realize the beauty inherent with all things, all the forms, all these beautiful, beautiful forms that we don't realize. Everything has love inherent within it. Everything. The smallest thing you can think of is a tiny little piece of love. And a piece of and soul as well. Soul isn't inherent within all things, but what do we do with our souls? It's like I think we have this tendency to separate love and the soul into different realms. Like that's kind of my understanding so far. It's that we we've separated the soul from from consciousness in itself, because we've said that like we haven't looked inside to see what we're creating. Even it goes all the way back to the advent of computers. It's just like these people had no idea. I would have been easily sucked in as well if it hadn't been for like my own pain of experiencing these things, and just like my own empathetic nature of how I processed the advent of the internet and all these things. And like looking deep into it, it's just like I saw a completely different thing that anybody else was seeing. And I just saw like clearly this isn't going to make me happy, because I want something simple. I want something that fills my soul with happiness and love. And for me, that's just like another person, but I haven't found that person yet. But the soul, I mean, like technology and the soul is a complicated thing. I think that's been like my. I'm gonna make a new video for this, because I really want to talk about this.